Alright, Que Pasa YouTube, a new year, a new country, Uruguay, and its capital, Montevideo, which you can see behind me here, sort of. We're in the main shopping area downtown. Just got here, gonna check out some of the sites. It's very crowded right now. There are two ships here, our ship and a Costa ship as well. So we'll try to make our way into the city center and see what's what. It is New Year's Day, so there's a possibility that a lot of stuff might be closed. We'll have to see. I'm not certain just yet. Some of the stores appear to be open this morning, possibly because of the ship traffic, but we'll have to wait and see as to how many of the stores are actually open. Good morning, YouTube, from Montevideo, Uruguay. I had wanted to shoot some down by the sea, but it was raining and the wind was kicking up some massive waves over the seawall there and getting us soaking wet. So we are headed back in town right now and trying to avoid the many landmines that are on the ground around here. And of course, I don't mean literal landmines, I mean dog poop, which is literally everywhere. So make sure when you come here you are mindful of that as you walk around, or else you will be end up cleaning up your shoes. So as I alluded to in the intro, our first attempt at stopping here in Montevideo was on January 1st, at which time everything in the city was closed. And for such an enormous city, it was pretty improbable because there was literally nobody around. We even saw probably no more than 2 or 3 cars, and the 2 or 3 cars that we did see were taxi cabs. Today, it's a completely different story. The city is open. People are out and about. Shops and stores are open for business and welcoming customers. So we're going to try to hit some of the hot spots before we have to get out of here this afternoon at 5:30 p.m. After that, we'll be at sea for a few days before we reach Santos in Brazil and Rio de Janeiro after that. One thing I can say for Uruguay thus far this morning is that it is definitely one of the more lively spots we've been to. I'm not sure if that's because there's a festival going on or what, but people seem to be in a good mood and things are definitely happening here in the downtown area. All right, so a walk of about 5 city blocks has found us in Constitution Plaza, which seems to be the heart of all that's going on here in Montevideo. And while the dance troupe back there was pretty entertaining, it was incredibly loud. You could feel the drums beating in your chest as they went by. I'm going to swing the camera around here and give you a shot of the little local market they have here down in Constitution Square, which is incidentally right in front of the cathedral in the center of the town. So this morning when we arrived, the harbor had 2 other boats in it. There was a Norwegian boat as well as a Costa cruise ship. So my guess is that a lot of the folks that are down here in the park today are patrons of those 2 ships, because there are a ton of people down here today, far more than there were when it was just our ship on the first. And most of those people were just wandering around by themselves because none of this stuff was open. This place was a literal ghost town. It looked a lot like the Omega Man or one of those 1970s or 80s disaster movies with nobody walking around. So this fountain here in the center of Constitution Plaza is really something else. Probably the nicest fountain that we have seen on this trip, and maybe one of the nicest fountains I've ever seen. There's one by Bernini at the bottom of the Spanish Steps that's quite lovely as well too, but This is something else. You can see the dragons there on the second level, which are pretty neat. The crafts fair that's behind me that we just walked through over here was kind of interesting. It wasn't a whole bunch of tourist items. It was actually what looked to be antiques and collectibles and things like that. Even some stuff that I would say belonged maybe in a garage sale or something like that. So that was kind of interesting to see, as opposed to your usual t-shirts and magnets and things like that. You had a whole bunch of stuff that people were selling that was more local items, and again, things like antiques and stuff like that. All right, as soon as I find Hope, we're going to make our way across the street here from Constitution Plaza over to the cathedral, which looks pretty full right now, so maybe we might wait a few minutes. Just thought I'd do a little video here of some of the local shops and stores. Here's one called Lolita, and right across the street here you have another popular one called Tits. So, yeah. Some interesting stores here in Montevideo. Maybe you might want to come and check either one of those places out. The rain is really trying to mess with us today. It's really on and off, but if nothing else, it's certainly thinned out the crowds here on the main shopping street. We're trying to find some place right now to grab a cup of coffee. We're gonna have to make our way back down to the boat eventually, because today we're actually leaving a little bit earlier than normal. All aboard time is, I believe, 5 o'clock, and we're leaving at 5:30, so you don't want to miss that. So I think we've settled on this place right here, Destino Sarandi. We're going to go in here and get us a cup of coffee, take a load off for a few minutes. So we stopped in a little cafe here to get ourselves out of the rain for a minute and grab some coffee and some cake. It's called Destino Sarandi, and it's right off of the main shopping street here in Montevideo. Give you a little peek here at what we ordered. A scone and Hope's cheesecake that she always has to have, as well as a decaffeinated latte. All looks very nice, and I'm sure it will be delicious. After this, we'll make a walk back down towards the public market and where the boat is more. We might even try to hit the seashore one more time before we make our way back to the boat. If it's not raining too bad, or if the wind hasn't picked up to the point where it's pushing the surf back over that wall again, we'll try to do a little bit of a walk down there on our way back. All right, so here we are in the market. Hey, hello. Everybody's saying hello as we come in. The market here is absolutely beautiful. It reminds me so much of the Boqueria market in Barcelona that we love to visit every time we go there. This is a fabulous place. It's right down by the port, so as soon as you get off the boat, you can come in here and grab something to eat or hang out at the bar and get yourself a drink. There are a ton of shops in here. The place is super lively, and really the absolute must not miss spot when you come to Montevideo, because This place has all of the charm of the city. And actually, to be honest with you, I would even say that the restaurants in here are even nicer than our favorite market in Barcelona. This place is really, really dressed up for the tourist dollar. And that is evident in nearly everything you see here. With 3 ships in the port, this place is absolutely insane. All of the restaurants are filled to capacity. And even the smaller ones are just overflowing with folks checking out everything that the market has to offer. The building itself is actually really cool too. I'm going to try to get a shot of the roof here, but let me get someplace where I'm not so inundated with people all around me. This is one of the entrances here, and you can see up above the wooden structure of the building along with the steel girders holding it up. Looks almost like a train station on the inside here. And it is really something to see. It's really fabulous. The restaurants in the center of the market here actually go up 2 stories, and there's a clock tower right there in the center of the market that you can sort of see through that restaurant there on the 2nd level. This place is a lot of fun though. Really, really cool place to visit when you come to Montevideo. I would say the main difference between the market here in Uruguay and the market, say, in Valencia or in Barcelona, is that this one is more restaurants and shops. There is not so much of a open farmers market feel in this market here. You don't see the fish and the fresh produce and things like that on display or available for purchase. So this is much more restaurants, shops, souvenirs, things like that. But it's certainly a place that you would want to visit nonetheless. If you're in the mood for grilled meat, they have everything you could possibly want here at the market. And it looks and smells delicious. So with the city in the background, we've made our way back down to La Rambla to finish our day here in Montevideo. Far better than it was on the first of the year when everything was closed. Today was a nice day, a great walk downtown, even if the weather was a little bit troublesome. And this area here, while there aren't any shops and stores or things like that, this is a great, great place to go running or jogging or bicycling all along the seafront. And behind me you can see the city itself, and up ahead of me there's a thing called the column vent that I'm going to show you in a second. That is a landmark in the area. So you can file this under strange tourist attractions. I am walking along down here in Montevideo along the Rambla Francia, and right up ahead of me is something known as the column vent, which is a scenic overlook, an area that people use to take photographs and things like that for their memories. But it is the history of this particular tourist attraction that is kind of interesting. It is the old sewage vent from the original sewer system for the city, which is still standing. So here, I'll swing the camera around and you guys can get a full-on view of an ancient sewage vent. And there it is. And I actually did see quite a lot of people down here taking pictures in front of it, so I guess everything old is new again, or even some strange things can become tourist attractions. It's hard to believe that that thing's still standing. I would assume that they have storms here and things like that, but nope, there it is. But overall, Montevideo has been great. A lot better than I thought it would be, in fact. This area has an interesting history. In the early 1800s, it was colonized by just about everybody, or occupied, I should say. The British, the Argentines, the Brazilians, Portuguese, Spanish. It seems like everybody had a turn with this area. And then in 1830, it was the time for them to gain their independence as the Oriental Republic, or Oriental Republic of Uruguay, which seems a little strange. And since then, well, the rest is history. It was originally built as a fortification against Brazilian influence into the area by the governor of Buenos Aires. The city has a unique look to it, and this area down here, which is known as Ciudad Viejo, is the old town area of the city, which sticks out on sort of a peninsula out into the water, is the main tourist hub and main attraction for folks visiting the area. And it's all we have time for today. We don't have any time to go on any longer excursions that take us further out of the city, which is a shame, because Uruguay is definitely a place that I would not mind exploring some more. It has one of the highest standards of living in all of South America. It's also one of the safest places in all of South America, and which I certainly have noticed when we're here. I mean, this place is wonderful as far as I'm concerned. I really like it. And if this weather is any indication of how it is here normally, well, it's pretty top notch as well too, because with the breeze and the low humidity, it has been really, really nice. Until next time, I am the Ugly American. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Any questions or comments, put them down below. And we will see you next time from Santos, Brazil in about 3 days.